individuals and
Malaysia's unemployment rate dipped to 3.9% in April from 4.1% a month earlier.
Mismatch is another critical problem in Malaysia to be looked into, says Bernard, especially among...
Okay, let's talk about something that affects pretty much everyone: jobs. Specifically, we're diving deep into the challenge of unemployment in Malaysia. We're going to break down a really thorough study that looks at the why, the what, and the how of tackling this issue. Ready? Let's get right into it. I want to start with just one number: 29,000. So what is that? Well, that's how many Malaysian graduates were still unemployed 6 months after they graduated, and that's just in 2022 alone. It's a huge number, and it really puts the scale of this problem into perspective, right? You see, a country's unemployment rate is kind of like its economic pulse. It tells you a lot about the nation's overall health. When it's high, that's a sign of distress. But if it's super low, that can also be a problem, maybe pointing to an economy that's running too hot. It's a really delicate balancing act. So just to make sure we're all on the same page here, let's quickly define what we're talking about. Unemployment is when someone is able to work, they're actively out there looking for a job, but they just can't land one. Sounds simple, but the problem itself is anything but. To really get it, we first have to understand that there are actually different types of unemployment.
First up, you have something called frictional unemployment. And this one might surprise you, because it's actually not a bad thing. It's that natural temporary gap when people are moving between jobs or when graduates are looking for that very first position. It's a sign of a healthy, moving economy.
Next is structural unemployment, and this one is a much tougher nut to crack. This happens when there's a fundamental disconnect between the skills people have and the skills that companies actually need. Just think about how fast technology is changing things. Some jobs disappear and new ones pop up requiring a completely different skill set.
Then there's cyclical unemployment. This type is tied directly to the ups and downs of the economy. You know, when things slow down, people buy less stuff, and as a result, companies have to let workers go. It goes up during a recession and comes back down when the economy recovers.
And when you add all those pieces together, you get what economists call the natural rate of unemployment. Here's the key takeaway. Getting to 0% unemployment is pretty much impossible. Because of people changing jobs and those underlying skill gaps, there's always going to be some baseline level of it. So that whole skills mismatch thing, it leads us straight to this major hurdle for young people in Malaysia, something we can call the graduate dilemma. It's like a two-sided coin. On one side, universities might not be teaching the exact practical skills companies are desperate for. But on the other side, you've got some graduates with really high expectations, holding out for that perfect job, which can drag out their job search.
And of course, we have to talk about technology. The pace of change is just relentless. Automation, AI, digitization, they're turning entire industries upside down. Now, this isn't all bad news. It creates amazing new jobs, but it also makes a lot of old jobs disappear. And if you can't keep up, if you can't learn the new skills, there's a real danger of being left behind.
It's so important to remember that these aren't just statistics. Behind every single number, there's a person, there's a family. So let's talk about the human cost first, because that's what really shows us why this matters so much. And the impact is huge, and it hits on three main fronts. First, there's the economic hit. It literally slows down the whole country's progress. Then you have the social side. It can cause so much tension at home and in the community. But honestly, the one that can be the most devastating is the toll on mental health. We're talking serious stress, anxiety, and that slow, crushing loss of self-confidence. Which brings us to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? We can see the damage it does, but what's actually at the root of all this? What's driving unemployment in Malaysia? It's time to peel back the layers. And zooming out from just graduates, there are these big picture economic forces at play. A sluggish economy, for one, means fewer jobs to go around. Automation is replacing some jobs too. And on top of all that, you have more people entering the workforce than new jobs being created, which just ramps up the competition, sometimes even with foreign workers. Okay, so that's the diagnosis. It's a complicated problem. But what's the treatment plan? Let's shift gears now and look at the actual strategies and solutions being put in place to try and fix this. What's the path forward? The government strategy is basically a three-pronged attack. First, tackle that skills gap head-on with better technical and vocational training. That's the TVET programs. Second, bring in more money from overseas, foreign direct investment, to create more and better jobs. And third, create programs like MyStep to give graduates a direct boost into the workforce. Let's take a closer look at one of those, the MyStep program. This is all about breaking that classic, can't get a job without experience, can't get experience without a job cycle. It places graduates into real roles to get that vital first job experience, offering a starting salary that ranges from about 1,800 to 2,100 ringgit, depending on their qualifications. It's a crucial foot in the door. So as we start to wrap this up, I think it's so important that we bring it all back. We've talked about policies, programs, and economic theories, but the road ahead means we have to remember what this has always been about at its core: people. And honestly, this quote from the study we're looking at just says it all perfectly. This isn't just about spreadsheets and GDP growth. It's a human issue. It's about making sure people can live with dignity and security, because the effects of unemployment are felt in our homes, our communities, and right inside our own heads.
And that leaves us with one final massive question to think about. Fixing today's problems is one thing, but with the world changing so fast, the real long-term challenge, not just for Malaysia, but for everyone, is this: how do we get ready for the jobs that haven't even been invented yet,